Hey, what's up, guys? It is Friday morning, and this is the None of Your Business podcast. So today, I have Vanessa Lavety. I originally reached out to Vanessa because I saw that she was passionate about yoga and meditation, and really, she shows her vulnerability, and I really admire that about her. And I can't apparently talk. So I really hope you guys enjoy this one. Follow her on Instagram at vlavity, and hope you guys enjoy.
Really know what it is. It's none of your business. It's none of our business. But tell us all the things that you have witnessed. Every grimy thing that you've been in. It's not our business. Forget it. Let's hear about your business. For the trials that you lived with from the ground up. Please tell me who you did it. Welcome, my friends. It's none of your business. It's none of our business. Forget it. I'ma ask anyway. Give me play by play of how you paved your way. How a simple idea changed the whole freaking game. Somehow became a source of steady pay. What would a young you say? Told about today. How the gods are gonna freaking change. Would you believe in the dream or not believe a thing? What is this? It's none of your business. None of your business. None of your business. None of your business.
So, uh, who are you?
My name is Vanessa Lavety.
Vanessa.
Yeah.
So, what do you do?
For like my day job or my like life purpose or both.
Let's start with your day job.
Okay, day job. I actually work in a sewing machine shop. So
Okay.
yeah, interesting. I work on the sales floor, but primarily what I do is like I teach people how to use their sewing machines that they buy, and
All
then I
right.
do classes and like do events and planning and stuff. It's totally crazy, yeah.
Okay. So, how did you get into that?
So I was actually serving tables, and we had a regular who would come in every day for like 2 years, and he became just like one of our family members. And I walk in one day, and he's like, "Hey, what would you say about like working in a sewing machine shop?" And I was like, "Yeah, okay, whatever." He's like, "Are
All
you
right.
serious?" I was like, "Yeah, totally." And yeah, I don't know. So my boss was my regular, and so I think that's pretty cool. That yeah, I don't know.
All
It's just like
right.
a new job. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. I'm like, all right, cool. Let's
Yeah, it's like,
just
you
come.
know, I must be doing something right, you know. So
Right.
yeah, but
Right
it's been a
on.
blast. It's been very interesting. I've learned way more than I ever thought that I would learn about sewing. So it's cool.
Cool.
Yeah, yeah.
What the fuck? Why? Oh, my reminder for my. I'm just having all sorts of technical problems today. Jeez. Okay. So, Vanessa, what's your life purpose?
Life purpose.
Like,
Um,
what do you do besides the sewing machine job?
um. So right now, I'm actually in teacher training for my yoga certification.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
So, like,
and
why yoga?
um, oh my gosh, I it's changed my life, to be honest with you. I started practicing probably like 7 or 8 years ago. And at first it was just a class at the gym and I'd go to like get a workout and it was great. Um, Went through some changes in life, moved to Colorado, never picked it up again. Um, and I just really noticed like its absence in my life. And I just kind of was like, wow, I think I need that like back again. And ever since I started practicing again, it just has really helped me like not just physically, but like mentally and like how I process things and just like I don't know how I move through life now. So I
All
just want to
right.
give that gift ever everyone else. I don't know.
No, I dig it. I can't say that I've done lots of yoga, but I've done little bits of yoga. I meditate in another way. I more do
Nice.
a Vipassana practice, and I just focus on my breath. But like the few times I've done yoga, I just feel way more balanced and way more connected. And which, for those reasons alone, I should do yoga on a regular basis. And like I am like probably the least flexible person ever. And I lift 5 to 6 days a week. So I'm like, man, I should do yoga so I can get more flexible. And that's been going on for 7 years now. Just I should do more yoga. And
I feel you.
like it's very rare that I do yoga. So,
I
but I
feel
think it's really interesting and like the energy and the whole community of yoga and like Pilates, like everyone's just like really down to earth and
yeah.
super. So what you talked about, you moved to Colorado and you went through some stuff. Do you want to share about that?
Yeah, sure. Um, yeah, actually that's just kind of what changed like my whole direction and like my whole path in life was I'd moved to Colorado. I'd been here for a year. I grew up in Arizona. That's where my whole family is. And ever since I was little, I was like, I have to be in Colorado. I don't know why. I just need to be there. And so finally, saved enough money, moved here. And I'd been here for a year. And all of a sudden, I just had like this one awful summer that just like completely changed everything for me. So I got into like a car accident and that was like really jarring. Everything was fine, but it was just like a little traumatizing. Um, I had a friend pass away, which was really different for me. He passed away at 22,
Oh
and it
wow.
was just yeah, it really made me think like about my life and my own mortality and what I would want people to know me for if I were to ever pass away. Well, when I do, obviously, but and then after that, like my brother got diagnosed with this. I can't even pronounce it, but it's called PNH. And what it is basically is the body's bone marrow doesn't produce enough blood.
Okay.
So he needed a bone marrow transplant, which is like really invasive. So that was really difficult for our family, and he ended up being okay, so everything's good. But then my dog died. And it was just
Oh,
like, yeah, like this series of unfortunate events that by the end of the year, like I didn't know what was up and what was down. And that's just kind of when I came back to yoga and was like, I just need some sort of like centering and grounding. And it really helped me process a lot of things that were going on. Yeah, it just kind of brought me back to myself in a way. So I was like, oh, if it can do that for me, I feel like, I can share that with other people. So,
yeah, that's awesome. Like how I came across you, uh, it just like through like vulnerability hashtags,
oh,
and I
okay.
saw, yeah, and I was like, okay, cool. I like what she's doing. I like your message, and I want to like, and the whole yoga. I think like any sort of physical fitness with spirituality is important.
Totally.
Uh, 2018, probably the shittiest year of my life. I got in an abusive relationship. She was fucked. Whatever. I make my own decisions, and I'm not gonna like. And I obviously I make my own decisions, but I like ended up being homeless in Vegas for like 3 to 4 months.
Oh, man.
Um, like got slipped back into drug addiction, and I woke up in the ICU July 9th, and I was like, "What the fuck am I doing? Like, I gotta change something." And so I got back into meditation, and it centers me. Like we all have life struggles, and I feel like if you're not willing to like open up and share who you really are, then like what are you hiding from? Like my weaknesses are my strengths. Like I was ashamed to fucking tell people that I woke up in the ICU and I overdosed trying to get my fiance out of jail, and I couldn't, so I was like, fuck this, I'm gonna try and kill myself. And then I
Yeah.
woke up in the ICU, and it's like there's more to life than that. And like, if you're in an abusive relationship, like I want people to know like it's okay, you can get out of it, you can seek help through other formats. And like I suffer with like also codependency issues. Basically, I'm a hot mess that I'm just trying to self-develop. And and in this process, I want to show other people like we all got issues, we all have struggles. It's okay to open up. You don't have to
Yeah.
hide your emotions with a pill. Like I'm not saying don't take medication, but
Right.
like
Yeah.
it's okay to feel. It's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to open up. It's okay to show who you really are. And um you know, I see on your Instagram that you're like a professional concert guru.
Aspiring
Aspiring. I'm sorry.
concert
Okay.
goer, yes. You know, it's funny. Yeah, I ended a relationship a few years ago because it was kind of going toward like down this path, and honestly, like one day I was getting ready for work and I was like, is this what I want? Like, is this really like what I want for myself? And it turned out no. But ever since then, like, I don't know, I've just been like out a lot more and like going to go see shows, and it's just really, I don't know, I heard someone say like music isn't a hobby. I was like, who are you? Of course it is. Like going to a show and like feeling the music and like just enjoying everything, like being in that crowd of just, I don't know, it just is awesome. So I was like, yes, I'm gonna aspire to be professional and I'm gonna travel with people and be their yoga teacher. I don't know. Yeah.
Why
One day,
not?
one day.
Like, why not?
Right?
Why? Oh my gosh. Okay, you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Jeez, I'm so sorry. This is. But hey, it's all, like, you know, not just because there's like speed bumps in this process doesn't mean it's not okay. Like, I would like this to go perfect, but obviously in the beginning of it, it didn't go perfect, and that's kind of what I want to show people. Like, you don't have to have like this perfect podcast with perfect production, anything. Just go out there and show people you.
Yeah.
Um, like, and I'm more like, take ownership for your problems. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I could have planned better. I left my house at 4 a.m. this morning, and I literally walked in the door 20 minutes ago. Uh, and how like usually it's usually set up. If I took that extra 20 minutes, I maybe wouldn't be having these issues, but I didn't
Learning
think.
process. It's all good.
Yeah. So, you live in Colorado now. Why Colorado Springs?
You know, it's so funny. So I grew up in Flagstaff, Arizona. Not totally different from here.
Flagstaff, really?
Yeah, yeah.
Isn't that like a
So
tourist town or something?
yeah, like right on Route 66.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Right
Yeah, that's where
on.
I grew up. But I don't know, like ever since I was little, ever since I'd like heard of Colorado being like to what how it was described to me is it's Flagstaff but bigger. And I was like, so I was like, oh my gosh, I want to go there. Like ever since I was like 6, like for some reason I just had to be here. And one day I just kind of noticed like, wow, I'm really putting my own plans like on the back burner. Like I've always wanted to go. Why don't I just go? So I picked up a second job and saved up my money and just moved here. Like didn't know anyone here, didn't know. I don't know.
Just fucking pack up your car and
Like,
go.
transferred all my school credits, like got a job and was just like, I'm here now. Like I don't know. But
Just living life.
yeah, I was like, I don't know. I wasn't going to be happy if I didn't do it. You know, it's just one of those things where I would have known, like, what I'm doing here is not what I want to be doing. So, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I just did it.
No, I can definitely relate. The only difference between you and I, not the only difference, but like I've moved from my hometown when I was 17, but I always come back. It's Helena. It's like this hellhole that I call a black hole that always sucks you back in for some reason. And the state that I feel like I need to be in is Utah. Um,
Oh,
I don't know why. Every time I am in Utah, I'm just like, this is the state that I belong in. And going down in June, hopefully figure out all the arrangements and move there eventually. But June is the start. So if somebody want to start out in yoga, what do you have like 3 specific tips that
totally.
you could share with the world?
Yeah, totally. So, I always hear, like, whenever people ask me about yoga, it seems like I'm always hearing, like, oh, well, I can't do yoga. I'm not flexible. I'm like, Well, that's like saying like I can't go to the gym, I'm not in shape. Like that's where you go to do that, to be that. Um, so honestly, I would just take it with baby steps. Like do not push yourself. Just meet yourself where you're at. And there are some times where I feel awesome about my practice, and then there are days where maybe I babied it a little bit because I needed to. So definitely grace and compassion for sure. Like don't expect anything more of yourself than where you're at. Um, I'd also say, like, honestly, everyone there is more concerned about themselves and like their own practice. I've heard a lot of people like really concerned about like classes and like group settings and like comparing themselves. And it's not even like, it's just the best environment to be in because everyone is there for their own purpose and like their own practice. And it's just a really like open minded group of people, you know. So it's just been a really welcoming community. The last thing I'd say is probably, I don't know, have fun with it. It's a blast. It's interesting to just, I don't know, get in tune with your body and tap in and on it, like learn some things about yourself. That's been a big thing is what are like my own personal fears that are coming up, or
Mm-hmm.
it's known to like there are certain poses where when you like release muscles, like you can get super emotional, and I've experienced that like in a group setting. You just start crying and it's like, I don't know, it's just like such a great release, and then you're just like, what was that? Like I don't even, what is my body doing that I don't even know?
Oh, really? Can you like tell me more about that?
Yeah, so this was when I first got back into yoga, like after this whole crappy summer, and like during the winter I was like, I think I'm having like a mental breakdown. So I started practicing again. And in one of my first practices, ironically, I'm in this pose and it's called Happy Baby. And you're laying on your back and it's like a major hip opener. So a lot of your emotions and like traumas are stored in your hips. And I'm sitting there and I'm stretching, and all of a sudden, like I just got overwhelmed and just started crying. Like could not help it. It was just like I had no idea what was going on, and they told me like, yeah, that's a lot of times like your body just releases like all of these emotions, and it was
Oh,
just,
wow.
it was crazy. Yeah, I don't know. I was like, I'm not sad. I'm not upset about anything. I just am like crying. Yeah, it was
Like
good.
your body healing after the process, maybe?
Hmm. Yeah, and like muscle memory, you know, like muscles carry your memories. So like when
Yeah.
you release certain things, that can come up. And
Oh,
it was just
wow.
cool. Yeah, it was good.
So, like the first time that you experienced something like that, were you just like the next day, like more yoga? Gotta do more yoga.
uh, yeah, I mean it's an ebb and flow though. I mean there are other poses that like I've gotten pissed off before. But like I'm done. Like I don't want to do this anymore, and like it's just interesting. I don't know. So it's an ebb and flow. There are some days when I'm like, yeah, more yoga, and then there are other days when I'm like, oh, maybe not today. But like
Yeah.
babying, it's okay. It's all right.
Well, it's okay to have that balance.
Mhm.
I was always like, before last year, I went to the gym and I was in the gym for like 4 or 5 hours doing steroids. Like, I got clean and sober at 19, and then I picked up another addiction through working out. Like, and just obsessed. And I thought working out, mainly powerlifting, that obsession was okay because eventually, like, I was training to compete, and that was what I was gonna do. And then getting into an abusive relationship and just not being myself, um, that path just spiraled back down. But like I wasn't, when I got in that relationship, I stopped meditating on a daily basis, and really I could see the change myself just spiraling. So I
Mhm.
really think it's, especially today, to be mindful about your words, thoughts, and actions.
Oh,
And it definitely seems like the yoga community, it does that. Every yoga instructor that I know is just like they're congruent with their words, thoughts, and actions. They're mindful, and I get this like inspiring vibe from it's just like you people are just, it seem like you're very well centered and very mindful about it. And I think it's really cool. Like just talking to you right now, you just seem like super relaxed, super down to earth. Just
Yeah, I
like just
meditated beforehand, so that probably helps.
what's that?
I said I meditated beforehand, so that probably helps.
Oh, there you go. There you go. You did. Okay. Um, what kind of meditation do you do?
Um, it's I am trying different form. Ooh, so I wanted to say, meditation is still a form of yoga. So even though you're not physically practicing it, really, I mean, you're practicing a form of yoga. So you're kind of a yogi too. So welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Um, yeah, I struggled with that, but forms of meditation. I started off with those guided meditation apps.
Okay.
Yeah, the one I really like is Headspace. I tried that
Yeah.
years ago, and man, that really started like a good habit. Um, and then after that, I went to a mala like necklace making workshop at my
Okay.
studio, and they basically taught us like about different mantras or like different sayings that you can tell yourself, and you go through and you count these beads, and there's 108, and you just go through and you say, whatever your thing is, I am strong, I'm worthy, I am loved, I'm whatever, and it just is like a tool to help you keep on track. So there's that. I've been going to like mantra meditations with like
Okay.
people chanting and stuff. It's a little different for me, I'm not gonna lie, but it's pretty cool, and like I could see like a total spiritual aspect there. So I'm trying to dabble in like little things, but mostly just
Yeah.
guided.
That's cool.
Yeah,
That's cool. I like that.
yeah.
I was going to go to this Vipassana retreat a couple years back with one of my mentors, but I ended up getting arrested for a DUI on Red Bull.
Oh boy.
Yeah, like completely sober, but I went to jail for Red Bull, and it just kind of messed up the trip. Um, I don't even know why I brought that up, but
It's a safe space, it's okay.
love it. But like, it's just I don't know, like the whole like meditation, seeking a higher power, seeking spirituality, like something in my adult life is something that I really been trying to grasp. Like
Mhm.
I grew up a Mormon, and like nothing wrong with the Mormon church, just I didn't feel a connection. I
Yeah.
always felt like I was different. Like why do I got to wear a suit and tie to see Jesus? Like,
I
and I
feel
like have like the spirituality and learning more about it. It's like something that I can relate to, something that I'm open to the idea. Like, and I like the idea of like praying to another god or goddess that not a lot of other people are praying to. So maybe like my prayers will get answered more quickly.
yeah,
So
right?
yeah, like, and whatever, you believe or don't believe, it's totally up to the person. It's just like me being more mindful and open-minded to how other people live. Like I live in Helena, Montana. Don't know if you've ever been to Montana.
I can't say that I have.
Okay, well, in Helena, it is a bunch of political PC people. Like I think we have like 1 or 2% other ethnicities that aren't white. So it's a white community, white Christian community, and whatever. That's fine. But like, there's no culture. There's no, and like slowly, um, more people from like California are coming out. Like we're slowly getting it, but like we're like 50 years behind. Most people think that we still ride horses to school.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, everyone that I talk to, they're like, oh, "Do you own a horse?" I'm like, yeah. Well, I do, but that's not the point.
I only take it to the grocery store. Jeez. Yeah.
Yeah, the second, yeah. So I think there's still a law if you ride your horse to school, the second, like the front desk secretary, like has to feed it while you're at school. I don't. It's
You have to pay for it
ridiculous.
though, so it gets expensive. Yeah, I feel you.
Yeah. So you were talking kind of about affirmations and like habits. So like, do you have like any morning habits that you do or anything like that?
Um, yeah, I don't know. Yes. So what I was doing is I was making a good habit of like reading a chapter in a book, like trying to read one like either like a self-help or like a nonfiction book in the morning,
Okay.
like something get your mind going in the morning, and then at night something that's like fictional or, fun to read. But I would read like a chapter and then I would do some journaling or some meditation before work. Um, now that it gets early, sunny earlier, I should really start a morning practice because when I do, I really enjoy it and I feel like it saves other people's lives. Like when I can just go into work and I've already got my own personal things done. I've already practiced, I've already meditated, I've already journaled. So I'm already in that space of just like accepting like whatever comes my way. Um, but I feel like when I don't have a routine and it's just get up and go, like I don't know, I just don't put space in between myself and what I'm experiencing. Everything is happening to me, not me observing what's happening around me. So
Hmm.
yeah, I could be a little bit better, but ebb and flow, whatever.
Yeah, no. Like I try to make my bed every morning. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and for years I was like, why? Like, I'm just gonna lay in it again. Like, what's the big deal? Like, it's just gonna get messy. But just what it did in my mind, just even after a week doing it, I'm like,
Yeah.
whoa.
Mm-hmm.
And then I go for make my bed, and now I've been doing writing like three goals that I want to accomplish that day. They're not ginormous goals. They're just like, don't punch someone in the face today.
Hey, goal. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, just something to accomplish because I sometimes, my anger, I get scared and then my cover up reaction is anger. So I was like, okay, don't yell at Joe Schmo for walking across the street at the crosswalk or something. Just and then three things I'm grateful for. Like I woke up in a bed today. I woke up and I got a job. Just like three, like just doing that. And then lately, I've been taking a picture of that and sending it to accountability partner.
Nice.
And we both send pictures back and forth, and we hold ourselves accountable. And having that accountability partner, and one holding myself accountability to my words, thoughts, and actions,
Mm-hmm.
like my mind has just expanded and I am just more self-aware of like what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And I'm not perfect. Like I think like the last 3 days, because I've been leaving my house so early, it's like scribble, 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 take picture, throw my bed together,
And
uh,
leave. Yeah.
and leave. But I'm at least trying the attempt. And like I'm not perfect at it. Like I try and be consistent, but also life happens and like even like I'm just making the effort, just trying. I'm at least doing that for myself.
Mm-hmm.
And before I wouldn't. I'm like, whatever, like I don't need a shower today, fuck it. Like
It's fine. I got
yeah,
it.
yeah, like world, don't you know that like I'm fucking Robert DeLude and almighty hail. So and like
Not yet.
what's that?
I said they don't know yet. Just give them time.
Don't tell me that. That's one reason why I meditate, to lower my ego.
Yeah.
Like I have a huge ego, and like it's just I gotta meditate to lower that ego because I'm not anyone special. I'm just another human being, and like I shouldn't park in the handicap spot if I don't have a handicap sticker. I haven't done that in years, but I'm just trying to get the point across. I think I'm a hot shit. I'm not. I'm just a normal person, just trying to be more mindful, spiritual, treating people the right way, and just really trying to get it out to the world that like I said before, it's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to open up. You know. So when your friend, no, it was your brother that passed. No, your friend.
No, yeah, it was my friend. Yeah.
Friend. Okay. Yeah, your friend. When you're going through that, like, how were you on a mental level?
Oh my gosh. Um, you know, his it was kind of weird because his death was kind of freak. Like the way that everything had happened, it was like a little too perfect. And that was the part that spun me out. Was like it just what had happened was he joined a couple of our friends and went out to go party like for someone's 21st birthday. And he ended up walking home from the bar and and I don't even know how far away it was, but it's a pretty decent, distance. But he walks home through his neighborhood, everything, gets to his driveway, and a drunk driver who was racing someone else through the neighborhood took a turn too fast, jumped the curb, and ran him over in his driveway. And it
Oh
was just
wow.
like, I don't know, like it was just so eerie. It was like the how does that happen? Like 30 seconds prior, 30 seconds later, okay, but perfect timing, and it just really it spun me like mentally out of control. And yeah, it was really difficult for me to swallow because it kind of just I don't know, made me realize or made me think like this is a little all too perfect, like there's no wrong place at the wrong time because you're always at the right place at the right time. And that summer I was like the previous summer I was in a relationship and I was like, man, this is just not my path. Like this is not the way it's going. And I'll say it loosely, but like I was praying and I was like, man, like can you just let me know that I'm here, like I'm being heard or that I have some sort of purpose because I'm feeling kind of just like a little tiny piece of sand on this, just I'm feeling really insignificant. And so I chose these like three, like a really random sign. And I was always told when you ask for a sign, it has to be really specific so that, I don't know, you just have to be specific when you ask for things. And so I was like, can you just please send me a sign? I just want three octopuses. I don't know. I want to see three octopuses, and that's how I'll know that I'm being heard. And all of a sudden, like, and I'm thinking like Colorado, mountains, woodland creatures, like, what the hell am I going to see an octopus for? And boom, 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 like I got my signs. And by that third one, I mean, I was in tears and I was like, okay, got it. Like, yeah, I'm not even kidding you. It was so crazy. Um, I mean,
Oh
I was
wow.
like beside myself, like just crying. And I was like, okay, like whatever it is, whatever people want to call it, like it's there. But got it. Like I now know like I'm on the right path and everything I do is going to be the correct thing to do. Um, yeah, I don't know. So that was pretty spiritual for me, but ever since then, like that's just kind of what made me think like yoga and meditation's the way to go. And after that, massage school, and I don't know, that's just what I'm doing.
Yeah, totally. So, I like it. So, have you? I know you said that you're like working on your certificate to be a yoga instructor.
Yeah, so I have a few like couple more training weekends to go to. I think I'm gonna graduate in like August or September. Um, so we're almost there. But
Hell yeah.
yeah, it's been super awesome, honestly. Like, probably the number one thing I've learned has nothing to do with yoga. It's all about like this fear in myself. Like, I've really experienced like this imposter syndrome. And it's like, what are people gonna want to learn from me? Like, I have none of the answers. Like, oh, what if someone like assumes that I'm like some spiritually centered, guided person? I don't know. Like, I don't know anything. Like the more I learn, the more I realize I don't know anything. So
And that's okay.
yeah, and it's baby steps, but not everyone knows everything. So I don't know. That's like the
Right.
number one thing I've learned is my personal like fear of like success or like just stepping into my purpose and what I'm meant to do and like not being afraid, what are people gonna think? So
Right. I like
yeah.
that. I love it actually. That's awesome. So have you, I know technically you're not certified, but have you instructed or helped coach someone through the yoga process?
Yeah, yeah. People ask me that all the time. I mean, even though I don't have my certification yet, I am actually allowed to teach. I know what I'm supposed to do
Hmm.
to guide someone safely. So I hold like little group classes, like with my friends. Like they come over and we just go through, and they get free yoga, and I get to practice talking in front of people. So it's
Cool.
been good, yeah, you know. And so I'm like, hey, you help me, I help you. Like free yoga for you, and it's been
Cool.
chaotic.
So what does that do for you?
You know, it it gets those jitters out, to be honest with you. Like it's kind of, it sounds so silly, but it's kind of a rush. Like you go through and you're practicing your sequence and what you need to say, and then everyone's doing it and they're flowing, and you're just like, oh my god, they're doing it. Like this is crazy. But um once you get those jitters out, like I don't know, I just have this feeling of like this is totally my jam, you know, like this is what I'm meant to be doing. I can do this, like they're benefiting from it. And I mean, really, that's the goal, you know, is like to just share it so that someone else can do it and do it safely, and that they can benefit from, you know, learning all of this. So it's pretty killer.
That's, I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. Um, so the people know. Vanessa, what's your message to the world?
That you already have everything you need to be the person that you want to be. You know, you're already that block of marble, and you've got everything that you need. You just chip away at the things that no longer serve you, you know, the things that you don't want, or the things that don't benefit you or the people around you. Um, you know, pretty soon you chip away at it, and you're that statue, you know, you're that statue of David. So you've already got it in you. You just need to get out of the way. Get out of your own way.
I love it.
Yeah.
I can relate on that so much. You know, for years I was always just like being a chameleon, just scoping on how I think people are gonna like me. If I do this, you'll like me. Well, if I wear that color shirt, you'll like me. If I drive that car, you'll like me. If I behave this way, you'll like me. And like I was trying to find myself, but I wasn't really. I was trying to please everyone.
Yeah.
And wondering, like, I've been wanting to do a podcast for since I was 19, but always just like afraid of like what people will think. And then after I woke up in the ICU, I'm like, fuck, I gotta do something. I gotta change something.
Mhm.
It still took like a couple months for me to really get out of that fear of doing it. I would like record episodes or and like have interviews with people and just like wouldn't upload them because I was like so much fear because I want people to accept me,
Yeah.
like, and really by me being vulnerable and showing my weaknesses, I get more accepted. They're my strengths today, and like I never thought like that would be a strength. I was like, my how my family is like we just don't talk about it. Don't talk about it. Don't talk about your feelings.
Yeah.
You're a man, grow up, whatever.
Yeah.
Um, and it just, I'm not that type of person. And being raised in that environment, it was really hard. And through drugs and alcohol, I got to escape. And today, with the practices that I use, I don't have to escape anymore.
Yeah.
You
Good.
know, I get to be myself. And I really appreciate you opening up and, sharing your struggles. I really, really do appreciate it. And I think the mission that you're on is really, really inspiring.
Thank you.
I just, scrolling through your social media, I was like, you know what? She seems down to earth. She seems like she's trying to do good for the world. And I was like, I want to talk to her. And
Oh,
I'm glad, I really appreciate you that took time out of your day to talk to someone in Little Montana.
totally.
And, and it's really cool. So is there anything that I can do for you to help you in your mission?
just continue being a shining light, be that light for other people to find strength in vulnerability. It takes a strong person to open up and to show, their struggles and, what we call weaknesses. But I will share a piece of advice, or that's something someone told me, and that they said, your only weakness is that you think you're weak. And that like really hit me. I was like, oh, so just continue doing the good thing for other people and, inspiring people to do the same. Just be real and authentic and genuine and just own your shit, hold yourself accountable. So
I love it. Cool.
Doing a good job. I support you.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I definitely appreciate that. So do you have any last words to say?
Namaste.
Namaste. I love it. I love it. Well, this has been fun. I really enjoyed this.
Yeah, me too. Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, you bet. Well, again, thank you. Oh, where can people find you on social media?
Yeah. So let's see. My mode of like main social media is Instagram. So it's V Lavety, which is my first initial last name, Lavaty. Yeah, I don't know. That's just kind of where I want to share my journey. Pretty soon, when I get my certification, my license, I'll start my business and get that going. But yeah, that's where you can find me.
Cool. Oh, I wanted to ask you, like, what's the best concert that you've been to?
Oh, okay. Honestly, it was last summer. It was in August, and the band The Kills were in Aspen. Oh my gosh, it was so awesome. They're absolutely one of my favorite bands. Jamie Hince and Allison Mosshart, and it was just like, I have to be in that room. I have to breathe the same oxygen as them. Like, I need to be there. And it was so awesome. It was just one of those where it was like, dream come true. I can die now. Totally happy. So that was probably my favorite so far.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. I like Montana. There's not a lot of music up here. Like every once in a while, like Slightly Stupid will come through. Five Finger Death Punch, but like I think Kid Ink came up here, but like we don't just get music. It's very, very hard. Like, and when like especially in my town, we don't get it, so you have to drive like 2 hours. So like my town right now is 30,000 people. So no.
I was gonna say, I think I hear Utah calling your name.
Right? You're not the only person that says that, so maybe I should listen. But yeah, one day. Maybe I should take your own advice and just fucking do it.
Yeah.
Like,
I give myself like no ifs, ands, or buts. So yeah.
Well, and look at you.
Yeah. Living the dream.
Living the dream in Colorado Springs. Fucking hell yeah. Cool. Well, again, thank you, Vanessa. Awesome talking to you. Hopefully we can do it again sometime.
Totally. Definitely.
And,
let me know.
Yeah, most definitely. Well, again, thank you, and you have a good night.
Thanks. You too.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
If you're thinking about all the days you could have erased, picking up sticks that you burned along the way. If you don't always get your way, don't fret, there's another day. Guide yourself to this maze of a maze. I've never seen someone like you, and I've never seen the sky so blue. If you know what we're talking about, get up on the mountain and shout. You'll be rolling for the kids you have sung. I'm not a junkie, wait upon the corner. science will hold no truth. And if you look deep for yourself, it's in the glimpse of the crystal ball. Gone without a chase, it's a song we can sing all night long. That's right, we're cashing in. 'Cause if life is just one blink, you better fade up with the stars. Why you always think it's shot in the dark? And if your presence decides to stay, we're both gonna party all day Saturday down the good old bar. Your freak show, maybe it's the peep show, walking down the streets of a lonely town. Where all the creepers are down at the deep of the song we can sing all night long. From truth, rhythm, drums and the bass, we're coming from Montana and it's all over your face without a doubt. You sing it out, you better make a choice and sing it out loud.